figure something out kind of quickly. But yeah, so the next event we have to look forward to is Rob Font versus Jose Aldo, December 6th or something. We have 1 week off, and then we're back with those guys. Parting thoughts on Vegas 43, the state of the UFC, whatever.
UFC, please don't do this back to back, man. Like, I'm really, really hoping the next card is
that. All I ask is please don't make these women's main event fights be the ones that they have been. You had Mackenzie Dern, Marina Rodriguez, Aspen Ladd, and Norma Dumont, and then Miesha Tate and Ketlin Vieira. Like, of those three, I was kind of interested in seeing Rodriguez and Dern, but not as a main event. I had no problem at that as a matchup, but I had that as a problem as a main event. So it's not like I don't want to see women's fights. Don't put unappealing matchups that most fans, when your audience is mostly male, they're not interested in seeing nobodies fighting as the main event. The only reason there was any interest, if there was any, for Miesha Tate is because we know why.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Maybe for some people it's like nostalgic because she came up with the women's bantam, which was like the OG, whatever. Sure, let's give some guys maybe some credit on that. The other reason, we all know why. Great, phenomenal, boring fight, whatever. That's
to your point though, even I hate to say this, man, because it's like I want these girls to compete, but at the same time, like even the girls that we do want to see, for example, I like whenever Nunes is fighting because I'm like, how bad is she gonna make the other girl look?
Is it gonna be today that we see a murder in the octagon?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like there's never a time where I'm expecting there to be a fight that's on the same level as the men's fights, and it's just the reality of what it is, man. They don't have that same competitiveness, and
which is
to co-main it to main it, you're creating a weird spacing in between the energy that is carried on through the card. Like if I was a DJ, let's say, what you're doing is basically everybody's having a great time, and then you throw on some slow-mo bullshit. Yeah, man, like you're killing the tempo of everything, and then people have to get back into the freaking hang of things, you know? Like it's jarring. It doesn't match.
Yeah.
Put these people on the prelims or early on the main card if you need to.
Or not at all.
Or not at all. Well, we've said that too. Maybe some of these divisions should get cut, dude. Like, look at it. Valentina, and Nunes,
and Amanda Rose. Like, there's really like maybe 10 to 12 women's fighters across all the divisions.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Yeah,
and that's it. Whereas with the men's, you go down the bantamweight division, you're done with the rankings, and then you're still thinking of guys that are unranked.
Yeah, correct.
And that's not just bantamweight.
Well, and the terrifying thing about those unranked guys too, because you see them start to come up, and you're like, "Holy crap, that guy can actually give this person a run for their money." You know. Whereas with the women's fights, we never see that.
There's no one.
Who's beating Nunes? It's not happening. It ain't happening. I don't care. Maybe Connor can beat her.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, I know the UFC for sure has to know this predicament with the women's division. I mean, go back several years, they know saying women aren't even going to fight in the UFC. So now they have them. Look, I'm not saying scrapped women's MMA entirely. Like, I don't want to see, no. But you can clearly see this drastic deficit in the competition. And that's why when guys see, oh, these two women are fighting, it's not because they're two random women. It's because it's not competitive. Almost always goes decision. Look at any betting line. The over-under is always set at 2.5, or if it's a main event, 4.5. If it's a 5-rounder, I should say. And it's almost always a super heavy favorite to take the over. And almost always you can cash that ticket.
Yeah.
Almost always. And again, I'm not taking a shit on it because it goes to decision. But it is a boring decision. A boring decision. The women, they don't, a lot of them don't have that power. It's like pillow hands when it connects. And then outside of that, like, whatever, let's take away the power from it. But it's not crisp. It's not, there's so much behind it. It's not because they're women is why it's like, oh, screw it. No, it's just not competitive. It's not interesting. So I don't know if they have like a revamp in mind, but it's I don't really look forward. I still watch them. And then if it's a good one-off fight, I'm like, great, sweet. It's great. We got treated to a good fight. It's like I'm rooting. We're not rooting for, and I think this goes probably for a decent amount of people. You're not rooting for it to be a crappy fight. You're just expecting
it. No, at no point. Because why would I? Of course I want to see
watching
something.
it.
Well, I want to see a banger, dude. Yeah. I don't care if you're, whatever it is. Like, I want to see a good fight. But to that point, though, for example, we got all that hate for Rose and the Wei Li fight, last fight that they did. But to me, this is what I would expect out of two people fighting.
That's what you want to see in any fight.
Correct. That's exactly it, dude. Like that's the difference. This is how any fighter in this promotion should be fighting at all times. Doesn't matter if it's 3-round, 5-round. You're a dude. You're a chick. this is how you need to perform because you're the cream of the freaking crop. The UFC, especially now, is going international on a pretty big scale. So I don't know, man. Like, you have to be able to compete at that level because now you're gonna have some Dagestani chicks coming and beating your ass.
I don't think they do that there.
I don't know. They might.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Maybe freaking. Well, yeah, actually, it took a second. I thought about
Yeah,
it.
I was like, I don't think that's in the cards over there. But yeah, no, I mean, we've talked about it a bunch amongst each other and whatever, and I know this isn't unique to our thoughts. Other MMA fans,
we just say it, damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, man, that's UFC Vegas 43. That's our thoughts on Masvidal, Edwards, the welterweight division overall, and then I guess a little side rant about the state of the women's divisions in the UFC. So yeah, next, unless we have shorts and stuff come up, but the next thing like this will be Rob Font versus Jose Aldo, which I'm looking forward to. For whatever reason, you were kind of like, man, about. You're wrong. It's not objectively you're wrong. But yeah.